So I'm saying that to say, so there was this whole Indian War. I think one in 1712, and then there was one right before, I think, the Revolutionary War. My dates are getting fuzzy with me. So there was, French and Indian War, all of that was happening. But how I'm going back to the theater festival, I saw this great contrast between two plays. We saw a play last night about the Black Cowboys.
Okay.
Which brought in Buffalo Soldiers. And, I always have mixed feelings about Buffalo Soldiers because brown people we want to be proud about that. But I always go, okay, but they were soldiers. And then, Indians loved them because they said their hair was buffalo. And Indians loved them while they were taking their land and giving them to white people. Because isn't that what they were doing? Isn't that what the soldiers were doing? Yeah. So I've always had mixed feelings. I'm not trying to throw mud on the Buffalo Soldiers, but I think everybody, not just European people, but everybody has to account for full history. And if the Buffalo Soldiers were American soldiers, then they were taking indigenous land. That's what they were doing. So I've had that thought, and I saw that play, but I'm gonna come back to it. I listened to a reading about the Lewis and Clark expedition. Remember, they sent Thomas Jefferson sent Lewis and Clark out 1801, 1802, somewhere around this, to survey all of the land west of the Mississippi, from the Mississippi to the Pacific Ocean, because he just bought it from somebody that did not own it. Right. So off of Lewis and Clark go to Sacagawea, the Indian girl, to help the guy, blah, blah, blah. But there was an enslaved man named York with them. He was enslaved by Clark.
Okay.
And so that play that I heard read was about York.
Okay.
And so I'm Googling while I'm listening to it. York, this is 1800, so this is before Buffalo Soldiers. But the stories about York is that some of those tribes did look at him and go, he has black skin. We paint our skin black when we're celebrating as a sign of honor. Ooh, he's celebrating all the time. We like that. So a lot of people, his physicality was attractive, meant something to them, right? And they attributed him to a bear because of his color and his hair. Not buffalo, but bear, right? So that was interesting to me. Just at the theater fest, I was able to contrast these two things. York, 1805, how these tribes seem to have, I need to check the facts, but seem to have responded to him. And then these Buffalo Soldiers. And the thing I love about this play is that it actually said it. That playwright actually included in his play that there was a scene where the Buffalo Soldiers had captured these, I think it was Shoshone, Comanche, and they had chained them because they were told, go get them. They running away from the reservation. Go get them. And so they captured these Indians and tied them together, and then they looked at them. Brown people tied together. And as brown people had previously been tied together, they decided, we can't do that. And so they let them go. So I love that, right? So that was a full circle. I got both of those moments at the theater festival. And this thing is what I've always been hoping for, is that we as a people would realize the Buffalo Soldiers were doing some pretty heinous stuff to indigenous people. And that playwright showed it by having him free them.
Wow. Just what? Because I didn't pray that they want to full circle back to the original time. That's pretty cool. So, wow. We can end it here. Boy, almost. So, man, that is. I felt like to ask that question.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it just hit me. So that's a good segue, because we're talking about to brown people, the natives. Some people still say Indians. I've had to learn how to, because you're growing up, they tell you native. So that's going into your baby, what you cherish the most. I think, if I'm wrong, you can correct me. Genealogy. Yeah, see. So we are here, and we're just gonna go straight into it. So genealogy. I'm gonna ask, what made you get into it? Like, what was it where you was like, because I know, and for those that don't know, I'm going to work on it. We actually did an interview some time ago, we're going to put it back out. But what was it I know we actually had family members that were doing it, but what pulled you to want to take over and, well, not take over, but help and, work on some things?
Well, I'm not special. So, I go to all these genealogy conferences. I mean, I know Gob's a genealogist. Most of them are white. Mm-hmm. And most genealogists, including most white genealogists, can say, if you ask them, what made you start? They go, roots. I mean, Alex Haley changed so much. Mm-hmm. I hope he's resting happily, because, and I always feel great about that when I hear white genealogists say, oh, I started because of roots. Right. And I'm no exception. So, I'm a little nerdier than most. So most people say when the movie Roots came out, well, I was a nerd. The book got me before the movie. So yeah, I read the book and I was hooked. And I started, I did a little tree then and I did it off and on to some extent. But then as I got older and as I became less enchanted with corporate, and it's been my happy space, right? Mm-hmm. So then as I became less enchanted with corporate America, mm-hmm. and I needed something else to concentrate on, I just started doing more and more genealogy. And then when I retired early, mm-hmm. I just went in full force.
Yeah. So you started
when I was 15.
Huh?
That's when the book came out, when I was 15. So that would be 50 years ago.
I wasn't going to date. I wasn't going to.
No, it was 50 years ago.
Hey, I didn't do this. Wow. So it was like it was just meant for you because when people start young like that, it's different. Anybody do something young, music, to myself, genealogy, any sport, it's different because you get more experience and then you're older and you can tell when somebody really like it, especially if they stick to it. Even when they don't like it all the time. Mm-hmm. Even when it makes you tired, they just like, even though you're tired, you still push through it. So, and I guess, to another question, so when you had the time because everyone gets to that point in their life where they're just like, I like doing this, I'm tired. So what made you keep pushing? Did you take a break or did you just keep pushing because, you had a love for it?
I mean, I didn't always work at this velocity, if you will. Yeah. There was years when I probably did little, mm-hmm. but one thing, I would say this though, there was always a family reunion. Yeah. So I wasn't going to get but so far away from it because even before I started running the family reunion, there was a family reunion and somebody would expect me to say something. Yeah. Right. So I might not have been, even if I wasn't actively working, trying to find more stuff, I still felt responsible for telling what I already knew. Right. That was all. That never stopped.
Mm-hmm. So even though you wasn't really, like they say now, the genealogy, they still, because they knew what to do, they still wanted to tell it.
Yeah. And now, I mean, I've done a lot since in the last 5 or so years. So, I will say that I've been more conscious about growing my skill set and how to do stuff. So I am finding different information now. But the thing that I've learned that I love is, people want their history, mm-hmm. but again, you got to give it to them in a way that they can consume it. Oh, yeah. Even when they might ask you for it. So people always say, "Tyrone, do the history." Yeah. And there I am at the banquet, and people got their chicken in front of them, and me and the chicken here and me there. And they say they want me to talk, but they really don't. They want the chicken. So I would always struggle with, I'm taking up their time, or am I really hitting what they want? Am I getting my whole audience? Is everybody? That was a terrible time for me. Everybody would always thought, and I could see they were bored. Mm-hmm. So maybe I was an actor. I am an actor, right? Because I could see they wanted me to do this, but they were bored. So it was very uncomfortable for me. But in the last couple of reunions, mm-hmm. I did these displays. Yeah. Right, and so there's 6 stories. Mm-hmm. There's 6 from the 1600s to to the Great Migration, and so you can visit this display, and it has pictures, and it has artifacts, and it has all this stuff, and a QR code that you scan, And then you hear the story. So you can look at these artifacts and then you can hear the explanation of what you're looking at.
Okay.
And it's not my voice. I got different relatives from age 9 to 90 to tell those stories. And
you said 90?
90.
Oh, man.
So my youngest is 9, my oldest was 90. So I've got different relatives telling those different stories, and I love that. And then so what I do, I stand there. So my job is to be there. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. But that way, everybody consumes whatever they want, right? You look at the story, you swipe, you listen to only as much as you you want to listen to. So I don't ever have to worry about I've overtaken somebody and I've told them too much.
Right.
They can even swipe the QR code and take it home and listen to it later.
Smart. Again, it goes back to tradition and technology, because nowadays everybody has QR codes. Scanning QR codes. So that's
back to theater festival. You know, that was one of the things that amazed me this year. Like in the previous years, you had your paper and you had your tickets. And again, I told you we're older, right? So a lot of these people, I would say I'm probably the median age. I would say 65 is probably the median age at the theater festival. When I tell you everybody was swiping their phones, America is different right now. It was everything was on their phone.
QR codes and how we pay now, the phone, everything. So something else. Genealogy. So when you look up stuff, right? What sources do you normally use, or do you have like different sources?
So what I'm going to say to the audience is the first place you would go would be familysearch.org, because it's free and it's a lot of stuff there, and it has full text search, which is a lovely thing. So most genealogists use familysearch.org and ancestry.com. Ancestry is sort of the front runner in terms of the paid sites. But for people who just want to start, and aren't quite sure, I would say go to familysearch.org first. And what full text search means is it's one thing to have your high school yearbook. You can have your paper version, and then you got to go to your mama's house to find it. Or you can have it digitized, and it's on the internet if you know where to go look for it. Right. Or you could have it digitized and indexed, which is what everything was up until about 2 years ago. Not everything, which is where that was the best you could get up until about 2 years ago, digitized and indexed. So now your yearbook is online, but all of the names next to the pictures have been indexed. So you can type in your name and get to your picture. Yeah. That's indexed. Yay, that was the best we had. But full text search reads the whole yearbook optically. And every word it catalogs. So now, if you're looking for Betty Moore, index, you could type in Betty Moore and she's indexed so I can get to her picture. Full text search reads the whole yearbook. So if she was on the volleyball team, or she was mentioned in somebody else's comment, wherever she is, it's going to find her. And so if you transpose that to genealogy, like I found one of our great grandfathers had bought something like some sort of farm implement. Now he's from Pender County. Okay. He bought some sort of farm implement at an estate sale way over here, like Greensboro. I never would have found that. Yeah. I wouldn't have known to look at that, and that would never been indexed. Full text search found. So that's the kind of stuff that's on Family Search.
So it's like social media, when you put something in, wherever it's at, it's tagged everywhere.
It literally optically, use optical character recognition, so it reads every word. It's AI. It reads every word, and then it'll go just. So if you look for blah de blah, it's gonna find blah de blah wherever it was.
Wow, that's pretty good. So back to the AI. So in this case, because we're talking about AI, kind of take over. Do you feel like that's a good place for AI?
Yes. It pains me to say yes. It pains me. AI, I was an IT director, so it's not like I don't know what I'm talking about. I did IT for a living. AI scares the bejeebers out of me. But it is doing some good things in genealogy, yes.
Good. So now, I have a question. I know a lot of people where you say research, they do stuff in the country. So I have a question. What if you have a situation where it goes broader, like outside of the United States, like Canada, or way, and there's, so how do you work with that?
FamilySearch.org has worldwide records because it is owned and maintained by the LDS Church.
Okay.
And so it's a global church, and genealogy is a part of their beliefs.
Okay.
So am I saying it has the same amount of records in this country as it does US? Maybe not.
Okay.
But Canada, you're going to do fine. UK, you're going to do fine. And, the point is, and that's another, there's a Roots Tech conference sponsored by FamilySearch.org, and it's free every year. It's online. It used to be a big old, you pack up and you go to Salt Lake City. Well, I take it back, it's online and it's Salt Lake City. But that's something, if you're just beginning, check out now it's hybrid. Mm-hmm. But the reason I got to that point is, it's not just an it's a FamilySearch.org LDS Church Roots Tech thing. So it's not about America, it's about the world. Okay. So they got presentations from Japan to Thailand to Congo to wherever.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Y'all take note of that. We'll probably put it in the comments so y'all can get there, because I know one thing, a lot of people, they really want to know. Some people want to know their family, and then we got some who are scared because they're afraid of what they're going to find out.
Endogamous are us.
Yeah. The media too. But yeah, so it's like one of them things like where it's good, and hopefully, I'll say this, I feel like a lot of people that are scared, somewhere along the way, should have somebody or something to tell them, like, you really shouldn't be scared. You should just, and I know for some people it's just something hard for them because they're like, I've always been like this for like 30, 40 years, and I'm just finding this out now because it's hard. So it just, hopefully they can find that point, all right, let me just accept it because I don't want to affect the generations after. Because, we should be able to share it and let people know about it, So that's good stuff. So what I want to ask next, genealogy. We've been around for, we got to wrap it up. I'm looking, I'm like, oh no. So with genealogy, I think we've talked about, you said, the resources and stuff like that. And of course, the other man is, if anybody want to get into it, they basically do the same thing. That's what you do, right? Just research and just, yeah. Okay.
And, right now there's FamilySearch.org is free. Mm-hmm. And you can also find free workshops.
Okay. Yeah.
Online. So how-to workshops.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And another entry point for people might be YouTube in particular has a lot of channels that talk about what you're talking about. People finding out how there's one called DNA Angels, I think. Mm-hmm. So each episode is about somebody finding their family.
Yeah.
Right. And so if somebody's afraid, it's kind of an interesting thing to see. It help build your genealogical skills because they're showing how they found these people's family.
Yeah.
And then 2, you're seeing that person's reaction.
Okay.
And somebody who's kind of afraid, they might be able to look across so many videos and go, okay, well, 9 times out of 10, this works out. Mm-hmm. Right? If you look at these people, it generally works out. I'm going to take a shot at it.
Yeah. That's cool. I keep that in mind. We'll put that in the comments too. So, thank you for coming.
You're welcome, guys.
Before we get into it, I got to ask. So, for all my family members, you want to talk about the family reunion real quick? Give a little gist that's coming up.
The family reunion.
Got it. Oh, yeah, this is it.
So our family reunion is called Pender Rock. Pender stands for the county that we landed in 1750s, coming from Eastern Shore. And Rock is reunion of colored kindred.
Nice.
And we did that because we combined all these different family reunions because it was the same people going through the same reunions, and it was ridiculous. And then so we started adding names, and we just didn't have enough body to have T-shirts to have all these names on it. So we decided to go with Pender Rock, and that reunion is September 4th, 5th, and 6th in Burgaw, which is not something we do very often. That's the closest town to where our family's from. We meet every year, and we are in North Carolina every other year of that, which means we get to North Carolina about every fourth year. And even then, it's not uncommon for us to be in Wilmington or Raleigh because it's easier to get hotels and stuff. But we made a conscious effort to be in Burgaw, North Carolina this time. And we're excited about that. And if you haven't been to Burgaw, if you watched Andy Griffith and you've seen Mayberry, that's Burgaw. And I mean that literally. I mean, it's close to Wilmington, which is the movie district. And when they look for that kind of setting, they literally take the movie in Burgaw because it has that setting. That's the way it looks. So we could be running around Burgaw with food trucks and food and ice cream and interactive family displays, and your sister's driving me crazy doing all kinds of events. And I'm sure she's watching right now. You know, she's an idea a minute, just like me. We kill each other. So it's going to be exciting, and his sister, and I are going to be exhausted. So please come and watch us fall out.
Yeah, not fall out. Make sure you get water. But they have a new edition, if I'm wrong. That's a new edition, right?
Yeah, so this...
For the family.
Endogamous are us, because my family's endogamous. Don't be ashamed. So it's a thing, people, and it happens all over North Carolina and in the royal family. So hey, so every family member gets a bracelet, and each one of these beads stands for one of the surnames that we no longer have on the family reunion. So as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So of the 8 or so families that comprise this reunion, I come from 6 of them. And so each family member, when they register, when they show up, will get a bracelet. And what this does is, if we say the yellow is for the Williams family, so people might not know each other, but you can look at somebody's bracelet and say, oh, they got a yellow too. They're part Williams. Hey, how are you Williams related? So it helps people start to get acquainted. And we also have we have family pictures, old family pictures we've blown up to be posters, and I have beads on them. So people can look at that picture and say, I don't know who this is, but they're part Williams. I want to take a picture with this picture. So it helps people to start to interact with each other.
Nice. So y'all come out. Please come out, family. We see you out there.
$100. Come out with $100.
What he said. What he said. $100.
Not free.
Yeah, very important. It takes monetary stuff to keep stuff rolling. So gotta put it out there. I know some people, we like that, not gonna lie, but some people think that it takes people and sources. So think of it like that. Gotta give it back. So last thing, where can we find you? Like, what's the deal with how can they find your workshop? I know you do stuff on Zoom on Thursdays, I believe, right? Yeah,
so we still have Thursdays. We have a private Facebook page of 948 of our closest family members on our private Facebook page. And so for that, we do third Thursday. So every third Thursday at 7, I have a Zoom, and I have no agenda. So whoever comes, and whatever they want to talk about, that's what we talk about. So if people ask about their particular family trees. Right now, people have a lot of family reunion questions, whatever. So it's called Third Thursdays, every third Thursday. And for me, you can find me, my website, freeinva.org. So free, I-N-V-A. So free in Virginia, freeinva.org.
All right. And I was trying to take it all. I had a brain freeze when you were talking. So we got that. Let me see. But I think you already said. Oh, thank you. So do you have any other, I know you said, of course, America the 250. Do you have any other workshop you're getting into or you got coming up? On my agenda,
I think the next one is November. The beginning of November, we're doing a workshop, free workshop in Arlington, Virginia. It's called Memorializing the Enslaved at Arlington. They have a project where, in Germany, they have plaques where Jewish people lived or were killed so that they don't forget. Yeah. So what Arlington, Virginia is doing, they have bricks. And wherever enslaved people were sold or bought or lived, they're putting these bricks. Okay. And that's called Memorializing the Enslaved. And they have invited myself and my cohort to teach a class that we always do every year at DC Public Library. We've done it for 3 years there, teaching people how to do research for people of color.
Okay.
And so we're doing that in Arlington to help the people in Arlington start to do their trees so that they can get bricks.
Nice. Very cool. Thank you, sir, for coming. Taking time out your schedule. Appreciate it. And safe travel back. I know you're back on the road.
I am. I got 95 to deal with.
Oh, man. No, 95. Well, y'all know about 95. Y'all know. So, thank you. And thank y'all for tuning in. And we'll see y'all next time.